Hello and welcome to Community Crossroads. I'm your host, Karina Garcia. On today's show, we speak to energy titan Don Whaley, founder and former president of Direct Energy and current president of Connect Energy. We speak to him to learn more about what residents can do to lower their utility costs. And the American Red Cross of the Texas Gulf Coast region is here to discuss how families can safely heat their homes this coming winter season. Plus, 25 News Now anchor Carolina Astrain visits the Victoria Art League, and there's a big charity basketball game just a few weeks away, and we have all the details for it. We are now joined by Don Whaley. Don, thank you so much for being with us. I know we're here, virtually, but it's always great to have you. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks so much. It's great to be here. I love the Victoria area. As I told you earlier, I'm born and raised in South Texas, so anything I can be back in that part of the world.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get right into it. So first and foremost, can you tell us why Texas residents will see a hike in utility costs this winter?
Well, there's a number of factors. The key one is natural gas. Natural gas is the primary fuel in Texas for electric generation. With all the disruption in Eastern Europe and Ukraine and Russia, and the demand for natural gas in Europe, we've seen a lot of pressure on our supply as we export more and more. And so natural gas prices started the year at about $3. They got up to almost 10 through the summer, and they've settled back down into the mid-6s. But with winter coming on and demand coming up, we're going to see those natural gas prices rise again. And so that's a direct impact on the price you pay at home for electricity. But as well, after the winter storm of 2021, the state, the Public Utility Commission, and ERCOT, the grid operator, have been taking steps to ensure that we don't have a similar blackout like that. And as you know, sometimes when regulators try to fix things, they just add cost, and they've added an awful lot of cost. So we're seeing sort of the double whammy of natural gas prices up and the impacts that we're seeing from the new steps that the PUC has taken.
Gotcha. And what can residents do to lower these utility costs?
Well, I think that there's two things. One, if you heat your home with natural gas, you can just dial that thermostat back, because natural gas prices are going to be higher this year, much higher, roughly twice than they were last year at this time. And so you need to dial that thermostat back a little bit. And it's amazing, really, what a little change can have at the bottom line on your expenses. But the same is true with electricity. We tend to take electricity as just sort of something that's there. It's like air, but we need to become aware of when we're using it, how much we're using it, because there's really not much you can do as we roll into the winter season, as it gets colder outside, other than be aware of when you're using electricity. And there's a lot of things in your homes, televisions, for example, DVRs, all of those, they use electricity even when you're not watching it. And so it's a simple thing to simply unplug them, or even easier, to get smart plugs, which are very cost effective and very easy to use.
Gotcha. See, I'm 100% guilty of just thinking electricity is like air, so I'm right there with them. So how and what is Connect Energy doing to help alleviate these costs a little bit?
Well, that's what makes us really unique in this market. I mentioned the smart plugs. Connect was started in California, and as you may have read, they've had rolling blackouts, the threat of rolling blackouts. And that's just because of a supply-demand mismatch. When Connect was started, it was tried to connect the new generation, if you will, solar, to people's usage patterns. We're used to, in Texas, if you want more electricity, flip the switch and another generator will come on. But as we have more and more solar and wind in our generation mix, that can't respond to load. So at this point, load, us, the consumers, have to become more responsive to electricity. And what we do is we can control any device in your home. We have our own smart plug that, as I mentioned, you can plug into your television. You can even plug it into your refrigerator if you want to. And when we have periods of high demand, we will send a signal to our customers. We'll turn off that electricity for 15 minutes up to an hour, and we'll pay you for participating in those loads. And we're the first company of our type in this market that is selling a flexible load type idea to our customers, to where we pay them and we take pressure off the grid in the process.
All right. Well, Don, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And for those at home, don't go anywhere. The American Red Cross is here with some useful advice up next.